So is Amazon a bubble? No? Correct. Right answer. Amazon is not a bubble. However, throughout all of Amazon's life, it's been called bubble, bubble, it's a bubble, etc. Well, we now know it's not a bubble because, I mean, I don't do any shopping other than Amazon Prime. If it's not on Amazon Prime, I don't buy it. And it basically dominates the whole world of e-commerce, so it can command its share price. But go back to 1997 to 2002, that looks pretty bubbly, doesn't it? Went from $8 up to 110, smashed back down to 8. Everyone said it's a bubble and they were vindicated. Then we moved from 2002 to 2006. Again, looking pretty bubbly-ish, from $8 up to 60, back down to 30. Anything that halves is pretty bubbly, right? Then from 2006 to 2008, oh look at this, from sort of 25 up to 100, back down to 40, it basically halves again. So throughout all of Amazon's life, it's done the rodeo. And the thing is, when you're looking at markets, if you look at anything through a magnifying glass, telescope, everything looks bubbly. Everything. But look at it now. It's gone from $8 to $1,100 over the last 20 odd years. And this is like the same, and this is Bitcoin when you superimpose Bitcoin, same sort of price action. But basically what Bitcoin and cryptos have done recently is just that tiny little bubble, that tiny movement here of what Amazon did. So yes, we are seeing this first little pop up to $20,000 Bitcoin. We've more than halved, and we're in a bit of pain right now. At the moment, I'm loving it personally, but most people are in pain, and then eventually we're going to have this big run off top. And this is where I believe we'll hit sort of $10 trillion market cap. But then again, from 2002, I state opportunity 3. This is where we buy, hold, and then we keep our cryptos to our great-great-grandchildren. So yeah. Now, those that have already seen this, you can't play. But any ideas what animal this is? Kangaroo. Kangaroo? Are you cheating? Wow, okay, you know your animals. Yes, so that is a baby kangaroo. I'm just gonna have some wine, sorry. I'm parched, it's probably that's making me more, oh, there's water over there. So this is a baby kangaroo. Now, according to my research, there's no other animal in the animal kingdom that grows as fast as a kangaroo in terms of percentage growth. And it goes from this cute little thing in your hands to Roger, the metal bucket crushing hench beefcake. I've since watched a lot of videos on YouTube of kangaroos, and I never knew how beefy they were. Like, these are veins. It's just ridiculous. They're very strong. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because right now, cryptos is baby Roger. It's flying under the radar. No one really cares about it. People think, oh yeah, I'm just going to squash it into the ground. It's not going to be a threat. And then before you know it, the global FX market will be crushed. So let's put things into perspective. Here we have cryptos, which isn't even registering. 0.4 trillion. Now it's actually 0.35 trillion if you're looking at right now. Then we have the global gold market. It's between $7 to $9 trillion. The global stock market is 70, bonds 100, and the global foreign exchange market, i.e. the currency market, is 1.4 quadrillion. So as you can see, the FX market is bigger than every market on the planet combined by a country mile. $5 trillion per day in average volume. Now, what is the FX market? It's the middleman market. It's the biggest middleman market on the planet. Now, what the whole existence for cryptos is disintermediation and decentralization, and it kills all middlemen businesses. Cryptos will eat at some point after, by the way, going back to the 3 phases, we're in the speculation phase, that's where the bubble always is. Unfortunately, millions of people have to get burned before an asset flows into the established phase. When we move into the established phase, that's when establishments like pension companies, funds, etc., start allocating more of their portfolio to cryptos. But after the pop, when we've entered the established phase, at some point cryptos are just going to go, and over the space of a bank holiday weekend, no doubt, it will have inhaled that effortlessly the whole crypto FX market. So it may go from 10 trillion or wherever it may be to the biggest market on the planet combined. And then when half the planet wakes up in an online sense, yeah, it could be over 20, 25 years, $5 quadrillion plus. When you can, because eventually, like going back to the sovereign cryptification thing, like FX will just be cryptos. Cryptos is simply another currency. I feel everything I've done over the last 13 years as a currency trader has led me to now. It's serendipity, I think. But yeah, and also, like if I'm a bank and I want to send $10 billion cross borders to another bank or individual, it's going to cost me what, £2 million or dollars in fees, and it takes a minimum of 3 days, T+3. There's no reason for me to wait 3 days to send my money, and that's why and it's also going to kill another industry, i.e. liquidity providers. So during that T+3, if I send $10 billion, but over the 3 days there's fluctuations in the FX market and the sender receives $9 billion, like there's a deficit there. So there's like a middleman insurance liquidity provider there. So that whole industry is going to be killed as well. Again, and it's like a middleman industry of a middleman industry. And now we have cryptos like Nano. Nano does instant transactions with 0 fees, with infinite scalability. So there's no reason for an FX market now that we have tech like Nano. And this is my opinion, like every time I see a new crypto launched onto the market where, like if they don't hit the standard benchmark, in my opinion, instant transactions for 0 fees, it shouldn't even bother existing. It's inferior technology. Now, this isn't part of the presentation, but I think it's probably worth covering. So when you look at something like Visa, Visa is a very linear technology. It increases its capacity as demand is there. And right now, Visa is doing something like 24,000 transactions, TPS, transactions per second. So Visa and when you combine MasterCard to that as well, it's about 60,000 transactions a second. So they basically facilitate all of the world's spending, right? Now, at the moment, when you look at cryptos, everything in the crypto world is in exponential growth. So it's starting from 0, it's done this, and it's just doing this. And so people have been looking at Bitcoin and going, oh, Bitcoin can never match Visa because Bitcoin has a maximum of 7 transactions per second and it struggles to do 4 transactions per second. How is it going to be the new global currency when it can't even process in under half an hour? But because of exponential growth, what you'll see is something like this. Obviously it won't go backwards, but something like that. And it's already, by the way, it's already too late. Even if Visa, they are aware of cryptos, but it's still too late because right now we're probably around here. Even if they caught it here, it's still too late. Because due to exponential growth, the second it hits the same capability, which it already is, by the way, it's too late because it takes months and years for something like Visa to basically change all their whole infrastructure, or they can't. And right now with Nano, it can, because it has infinite scalability, Nano could do 10 billion transactions per second if it wanted. There are now systems out there like Cardano and Nano where the more users, the faster it becomes. So this, I mean, it's game over for the establishment. So anyone that says that like they'll never be able to match Visa or MasterCard simply has inaccurate data, or they're an idiot. And also, let's say we have another stock market or bond market crash. Like, I personally believe it's a fair shout that it doesn't take much for a couple of trillion to spill over into cryptos. Like on Black Monday, the stock market shed $5 trillion in a day. Now, obviously, it doesn't disappear. Money technically, oh no, it is similar to energy. It's not really destroyed, it's simply transferred, but yes, you can destroy money, that's what deflation is. But like a couple of trillion from both these markets over here won't even make a dent in these markets, you won't even notice it. But over here, a couple of $1 trillion, it's pretty big. Don't forget, the crypto market started at $17.7 billion market cap in January 2017, and it went to $823 billion by the end of the year. Massive growth, 4,700% growth. Now, I don't believe it's going to maintain that cadence. This, in 2018, it won't do another 4,700% growth. It will have far less percentage growth, but far more capital. I believe this year we will see several trillion. We didn't even hit a trillion in 2017, but I believe in 2018, we'll see at least a couple of 2 or 3 trillion flow into this market. Don't forget, it took 9 years to put 1,200 cryptos on the planet. And this year, I mean, right now it's about 1,550. But in 2018 alone, there's at least 2,000 new cryptos about to come online. Like, we are standing on the precipice of huge financial inflows. It's absolutely ridiculous. Every bank has a blockchain innovation department, which is basically code for, holy crap, how do we keep up with this?